Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Ivan here. In this video we'll be having a look at the Pagani Design PD1690. It's one of the most affordable Rolex Oyster perpetual homages on Aliexpress, and to be fair, it's a pretty decent watch for the money. At some point of the video I'll also do a quick comparison with the St. Martin SN021 so that you can better decide which one is the better option for you. This watch was sent to me for a review by Aliexpress, but if you're interested in it, you can get it from the Pagani Design Aliexpress official store. You can find the link in the description of this video. It typically costs about €125, but right now it's on sale, and you can get it for about €105 only. All you need to do is use the seller's coupons, then add the watch to your basket, click on checkout, and the price will automatically change. There are 5 colors for you to choose from, and all of them come with the Seiko NH35 movement. Here is the box the watch comes in. It's the standard Pagani Design box, inside of which you'll find an unsigned warranty card, a cleaning cloth, and a small screwdriver which you can use for sizing the bracelet. Oh, and you also get one of these cheap NATO straps. I've never been a big fan of NATO straps, but if you are, I guess you can give this one a try. Alright guys, let's discuss the dimensions now. This Pagani features a case diameter of 39.7mm. The lug-to-lug is 48.8, but keep in mind that the end links are male. So when it comes to the lug-to-lug, this watch wears just a little bit bigger. However, it's fairly thin, 11.3mm, and finally the lug width is 20mm. On my 17cm or 6.7-inch wrist, it looks well proportioned, it's very wearable, the Tiffany blue dial, as you can see, is quite eye-catching, and the watch also sits comfortable, and the bracelet does a good job at keeping things balanced. Speaking of the bracelet, it's better than what I expected. All links are solid, and the ones that are removable are joined with screws. Then the end links fit the case rather nicely, but they are a little bit shorter than the lugs. When it comes to the finishing of the bracelet, the vertical brushing looks surprisingly good for a watch at this price point, and so do the high polished parts. The only part that needs a bit of an improvement is the clasp. It's exactly the same as the one on my Daytona homage, which by the way was my first Pagani design ever, and as you can see I still have it. So the problem that I have with the clasp is that this part right here is a bit too sharp. You don't feel it while the watch is on your wrist, but I still think it needs to be improved. Secondly, and most importantly, the clasp's micro adjustment points are extremely difficult to use. I mean, this spring bar here is very difficult to reach. I don't know guys, maybe I don't know how to do it right, but I struggled big time with it. That being said, it's not impossible, you just need to take your time. Other than that, the clasp is functional and very secure, the scissor portion of it is milled, and you even get an easy link extension that is a bit stiff, but it seems to work very well. Next, let's have a word about the build quality and the finishing. Guys, the whole watch is made of 316L stainless steel. The build quality looks good to me. It's not as good as something like a St. Martin watch, but for €100, it's impressive. I mean, you get a scratch-resistant crystal made of sapphire, and then you also get a screw-down caseback and a screw-down crown, which in theory make this watch water-resistant to 200 meters. I don't know if this water rating is true, but I'm sure you can take this watch swimming and it will be just fine. For instance, this one over here, I've taken to the swimming pool and to the sea quite a few times, never had any issues with it. Not even a foggy crystal. For that reason, I assume the PD1690 will be just as good. In terms of the finishing, you don't get any fancy bevels or anything like that, but both the brushing on the top of the lugs and the high polishing on the bezel and on the sides of the case are well executed. Alright guys, moving on, it's time to talk about the dial. I went for this Tiffany blue color because I really like it, and also because just like the yellow dial model, it doesn't come with a date, and I prefer it this way. Upon some closer inspection, you can see that everything looks nice and sharp. The handset and the applied indices seem to be well finished, And as you can see, the layout is the same as on the Rolex Oyster Perpetual that was released in 2020. I think it looks very nice, it's very symmetrical and also very legible. Finally, the hands and the indices are filled with some blue lume, and guess what? It's not terrible. I mean, make no mistake, this is no Super Luminova PGW9, but it looks alright. The initial glow is strong, but then it starts to fade away pretty quickly, especially the indices. However, in complete darkness, you'll still be able to tell the time for a couple of hours at least. Now guys, another reason of why this Pagani design is such a good value for money is its movement. Behind this case back there is an automatic Seiko NH35, and that of course is a very good thing. I'm sure most of you already know, but just in case there is somebody new to the hobby watching this video, the NH35 is a movement that hacks, it hand winds, it has 24 jewels, it's very reliable and typically very accurate. This one specifically runs 2 seconds slow per day, so it's as good as a Rolex. At the very beginning I told you I was going to do a quick comparison between this Pagani and the San Martin SN021. I think it's interesting to put both watches side by side because I'm sure there are people who are wondering if they should get the Pagani or spend the extra cash and get the San Martin instead. Well, here's the thing. The Pagani design is good, but the San Martin is better. It feels more solid, it's better finished, and I like its top hat sapphire crystal more. The Pagani on the other hand is super affordable. It costs €200 less, while it still offers some good specs for the money. It's a great looking watch, but it's just not as refined as the San Martin. I'll tell you this guys, when I have to choose between two similar watches and one is better built and as a result more expensive than the other, I ask myself the following question. Do I really want it, or I just want to have some fun with it? If I really want it, I save and go for the more expensive one, and this is exactly what happened with this San Martin, which I haven't reviewed yet. I really wanted it, so I went for it, and by the way, this is not a free watch, I bought it myself. On the other hand, this Pagani here, which I also haven't reviewed yet, and which I also bought myself, I wanted it for fun, and this is why I got it instead of the San Martin version. So, I'm not sure if I'm being helpful here, but if you have any questions about these two, or about any of the watches on my channel, DM me on Instagram and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Guys, this is pretty much the end of today's video. I just want to say that Pagani Design makes some great watches in the 80 to 150 euro price range. As you can see, I currently own 4, and so far I haven't had any issues with any of them. My favorite is probably this Daytona Homage. I used to wear it a ton, especially in summer. Then the BB Chronograph Homage is my latest Pagani purchase, and I have to tell you, it looks much better than I thought it would. The bracelet is pretty good, and I love this top hat sapphire crystal. Finally, this is my Explorer 2 Homage. It's very nice, but unfortunately there are about 50 watches in my collection right now, so I don't really wear it anymore. How about you everyone? Do you own any Pagani Design watches, or are you planning to get one? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss any of my future content. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.